homeless, no job, and you're running in and out of different homes with different
Yeah.
women. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love is Blind, Season 10 on Netflix. We're talking about episodes 7 through 9. This specific episode is going to be about Alex and Ashley, Brittney and Devonte, Vic and Christine, and Emma and Mike. Our recap on the rest of the couples is already up on the channel, so make sure you go check that out. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this Love is Blind breakdown, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell and hype us up. Hype us up. We're trying to reach 5K and we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. So all your support matters. We appreciate it. And talk with us in the comments because we love to go back and forth with y'all. Y'all have some very interesting opinions. So about this Love is Blind drop, episodes 7 through 9. We're going to start with Alex. Alex, come to the front, okay?
Baby, like I said in that first episode we just did, Love is Blind this season needed to come with a trigger warning, like a full notice, because it's almost like Love is Blind said, you know what? We're going to give the people what they want. We're going to give them drama every single scene, honey. Like, the amount of screen time Alex and Ashley had because of all of their BS was insane. It was insane.
Let's jump to the dinner. You know what I'm saying? Because the meeting the families, that's traditional for Love is Blind. You know, everybody's going to meet each other's families. The dad calling him out as a liar, like not to his face, but clocking that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's clocking that he was a liar. He saw that off rip. It's like, Ashley, you see that too? Trust your gut, girl.
Yeah.
You see that too?
But it's like, I barely want to give the daddy credit, you know what I'm saying? Because of his beliefs. And he had also said something when he was trying to, you know, at the end they was doing that compilation of advice, him and the mama could barely speak. And the daddy tried to joke, very mute. The daddy made a joke like, I put myself first. I was like, see, you and Alex are probably one and the same.
Yeah.
Same man, different font, which is why you could pick up on the BS.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, there's something here where if Ashley is paying attention and like the things that her father is highlighting, it could signal a warning. But at the same time, you probably used to this type of man. While he was talking about she got a bad picker, and Ashley had already said she's not good with, you know, she ignored the red flags. I'm like, this probably. This might be why right here.
Yeah, because I do wonder what the relationship with the mom was like, because that mom was a mute at that table. And I think that sometimes men think like, oh, it doesn't matter how I treat the mom. It matters only how I treat the daughter or my child. Like, obviously, Ashley feels loved and supported by her dad, but do you see your dad dogging out your mom? I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'm just highlighting that it could, I don't know. I just wonder what that relationship is like and what model of love she saw, because she keeps picking red flags. Is that because there's some dynamic that in her home life that may not be particularly in the mother's favor? Because the way, I mean, it could be editing. It could be editing. But the way she ain't have no words of wisdom, I'm like, I ain't never met a mama that ain't wise. And when I meet a mother that's not wise, I'm like, that's a woman I can't trust. I'm sorry. Because with women, it's in our nature to be wise. You get what I'm saying? If the man is the only one giving out the life advice, something's wrong in this dynamic. I'm telling you.
And I hate to say it, but men you know what you always hear, he's a man of few words. But when he spoke, it was full of knowledge. It had so much substance, right? And it's usually the women you can't get to, like, you know, especially a mom, right? Mothers be coming in with the opinions, either the opinions,
like Mike's mom,
or they be super friendly. You know what I'm saying? And like neither of that was happening in this engagement. And again, it could have just been because Dad was coming in hot, but it was like, I was sitting there like, Now hold on, how you got all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge, and your daughter can't find a husband?
Yeah, and then you out here telling something you don't apply it. You like I don't do that, but do as I say, not as I do.
Correct.
So I don't know.
Correct.
We'll leave a question mark on that. But I too was sitting there when they started talking about, like, first of all, not I don't vote, but that's neither here nor there.
You can always mail in a ballot, Alex. You can always mail in a ballot. I don't want to hear from no man about his political beliefs and what he thinks and don't think, and he don't vote. Okay, like, what are we saying here? It's the most ignorant thing in the world.
It's like a lot of hot air. It's just a man of words and not action. But either way, it's like, now that I see that all of you guys are just a whole table full of you know who's, I don't care no more. It's like, let your daughter be run through by this guy. I don't care. Ashley, you want to be ignoring the red flags? Cool. Y'all get what you get. Life has a way of taking care of you. And out here, first of all, having the views that he has, but then I'm attracted to darker features. I'm attracted to, like, look.
You want the black woman, the half black, half Colombian woman. Ain't that funny?
Yeah, it's like, okay. Anywho, but this dinner, like, putting aside the views, right? Putting aside the views, I was entertained by the dinner, and I was
definitely
entertained. Like, the dad that's me. I was like, that's me. That's how I would be. And maybe it's the lawyer, but that's how I would be. Like, I'm 21 questions, and especially for a truncated process like that, it's like, normally I wouldn't overburden you with a billion questions, but I have 20 minutes to get to know what I could have known in like 20 months. And so I'm sorry. I gotta lay the questions down. And so I think
him being I think he said he worked in like divorce work. So I think him asking about like his family history and things like that, it was coloring his perspective. Because those are important questions. Like, you know, if you know somebody's about to marry this person and they have kids, like, you need to know what it's all coming with. And those are things that often people ignore, you know, or they just don't think about it. They feel like, oh, the in-laws don't necessarily matter. And it's like, no, you're marrying into the family, you're marrying into systems, you're marrying into generational patterns and things like that. So what all is coming on your side, on your end of the table, for sure. So I think his questions were very valid.
Absolutely.
I just couldn't give him all that credit. Like, at first I was like, oh yeah, oh, wow, rewind. And then he asked that, and everybody is like, the brother was like, and I ain't mad at it. Like, I'm like, whoa, this is like, I thought it was a trick question at first.
I couldn't believe my ears. I was like, oh, I was thinking that y'all wanted the other way around and this was about to be a problem. But it was like, oh, he knows who he's speaking to. Probably don't even, to be honest, he probably don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, no,
the not voting tells me you don't give a fuck, first of all. But he probably don't give a fuck, but he knows he's in front of. And so he's playing the game, just like Daddy said. You know, he know how to lay it on.
Right.
And the little story with the aunt, my grandparents, lying. 55 years they were married. He was like, hold up, wait.
But they were 60 when they died?
I know. It was like 10-year-olds. Like, I don't understand. It was giving cross-examination, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Something that I did realize in this conversation with Ashley's father, Alex was like, oh, I was baby. I was a mistake. Using that term, right? Like, oh, I was a mistake. I was wondering, how much does that play into his self-esteem? And then he said, I flipped my mom's world upside down or something to that extent. It just felt very heavy the way that he framed it. And so I was like, I wonder how much this has poured into his just seemingly unsettled lack of stability, not knowing where he comes from, you know. It just felt like a lot.
Yeah, I did want like to have the Love Is Blind producers really give us more of the mom and a little bit of more of the backstory, because even her driving trucks, I was like, what's her story? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think some of that, like how he came to be, would explain a little bit more about Alex. I don't know. But also, though, who ain't no mistake? I'm not trying to, but like all all these Love is Blind contestants probably mistakes. Half of them, most of them,
Ooh.
my parents were married a week after I was born. You get what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? All of us are kind of mistakes. I mean, but I guess mistake, maybe he means a little bit more of like, I was
unplanned,
product of an affair. Because ain't nobody, like, you see how many videos that these people pop, like, oh, it's baby number 3, and the dad's like, shut up. Like, they don't. Everybody out here is a mistake. Okay. Some people are planned. Probably 30% of the population is planned. But going back to like some of the questions that the dad asked Alex, right? When you were speaking about like knowing the family history and things like that, when he asked him about his life and he's like, okay, this is a broken home apparently that he's come from. Who was your role model? Like, who did you see that you could emulate? Who could you follow after? And I think that's an excellent, great question. And I think that he understood that whoever you're around, you're going to kind of pull from them. And so who is giving you the playbook for how to live this life? Who are you following? And I think Alex is smart enough. He's like one of those, he's like a not a used car salesman, but like one of those shysters, who just, back in the day, they would have sold you snake oil. They would have sold you something you don't need. That's what Alex is. His smarts is in an ability to really read the room and really see what you're asking for. Mm-hmm. And I think he understood that he wants confidence in the fact that I have something good to lean on. And that's why he probably made that fucking story up about his grandparents. Like, oh, my grandfather. He was like, whoo, alley-oop, I'm about to give you exactly what you need. And then this other shyster on the end, Ashley's daddy, was like, I see it, game recognized game. So I don't know. That stood out to me.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then do we want to also talk about this conversation that they opened with?
Yeah.
About the sex.
Yeah. Look.
I said, baby, this is why we need sex education. Because
he was all asked about the period, winter period.
Yeah. It's because what do you mean? And now all of a sudden sex is back on. I'm so confused with him. Do you like her? Yeah. Do you not like her? What is happening here?
I don't think he likes her. Like, just... No, I don't. I think it's very clear. And it's just like with what's his name, Chris? Like I said with him, it's him, Chris, and Devonte. It's when these women have felt something was off. Trust it. Chris saying, oh, I want to continue. But it's not matching. It's not giving that. Just said bye because I'm trusting that. Ashley needs to trust. He's not fucking me. Something's off with that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Something's off with that. Trust it.
Speaking of
Same
which,
with Devonte, but
you asking me why didn't I fuck you? I did not like that. I remember I said in our first
recap, asking who?
Alex asking Ashley, why didn't you fuck me? If you wanted to have sex, why didn't you fuck me? I was like, and this is why I said y'all are giving sex doll. Because how is this supposed to be someone you supposed to marry and you talking to her like that on camera? On camera. Now y'all talking like that in private, that's how y'all get down. But I'm like, again, he is aware of how to give somebody what they're looking for. So I know you know how to control perception. This is what you do. And you knew what that would come off like on camera. I think he did it on purpose.
Well, explain to me because I might be a little not understanding. What is it that he did?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Question, asking her, why didn't you fuck me? When she was like, well, you left. So apparently they had the date where they were touching all over each other with the mud. Yeah. She wanted to have sex with him after that.
Yeah.
He I guess he ended up leaving. She was upset about that and asked, why weren't we intimate? Like, you just left. And he's like, well, you should have initiated. And she's like, but you left. And he was like, well, why did you just fuck me then? Like, why didn't you fuck me last night?
And so your issue with that is not... Because the gaslighting was my issue with it. But your issue is that you think that statement itself is disrespectful.
Yeah. I also had an issue with the gaslighting. But
the
you asking this woman, why didn't you fuck me on national television, to me, is a very large sign of disrespect. I don't know. Maybe I'm too classy for it. But I'm like, baby, don't talk to me like that.
Classy girl.
I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Like, I don't know. It was just giving. You think I'm just I don't know, a toy or something.
I'm not trying to say anything. I was turned off. Maybe it is not registering because I was just turned off by the gaslighting of it. And I'm like, no, because it's like the same thing. I keep bringing up Chris and Devonte because it's the same thing. They keep putting it back on these women when the whole time the woman raised the truth and smashed it in your face and said, what is this? And you were like, first of all, you should have done this. Yes. First of all, you should have done that. So I'm not trying to say it's not. I just was trying to make sure I understood what you were saying.
Yeah. No, but he was gaslighting her the entire time. I mean, even just bringing up the random things about the water bottle, and he's like, well, what if I don't fold clothes right? And she's like, this is the first time we've ever done laundry. Why is this even a conversation? And he's like, well, home life, if I have to get married to you, I don't want it to be an issue. And she's just like, these things have all happened one time. Like, and we've had conversations about it.
You know what it gave me? I think it was Madison, her season, where she said that they had all these conversations off camera, and then the producers made them come back, sit down, and have these conversations, like the breakup conversation, I think. Do you remember that? Or did you not see that?
The breakup conversation.
Yeah, but it made him had it. But I'm saying, like, that's what this conversation was giving. It was almost giving, like, did y'all have these moments? And the producer said, okay, we need y'all to put it on camera. Because the way Alex kept bringing stuff up that seemed like nothing, it was like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, can y'all resolve the sex issue? You know, because all of this water bottle stuff and all of this folding clothes, and it just seemed like, what are we talking about? I was on Ashley's side with that. I was like, what? Like this, y'all been here y'all folded clothes one time, she said. Like, what are we talking about? It just seemed like he's picking at stuff and he wanted it out, you know? These things bother me, you know? And it's like, this is nothing.
I mean, he was looking for out the entire conversation, even the asking her about her job and moving. And it's like, you know, you ain't got no real job, sir. You don't have a job. Why are you asking this girl to leave her job where she's trying to move up in life because you don't want to be quote unquote stuck here? Men are selfish. Men are selfish.
Tend to feel that men are naturally more selfish.
They are selfish. Men will ask you, where do you want to go eat? You give them 4 places you want to go eat. I don't want to go to none of those places and still can't pick a place. That is what this conversation was giving me. Like, you don't have anything to offer, yet you still want to drive the direction of the plane.
Right.
You ain't got no license. You ain't got no certificate. You ain't got no degree. But
no
you
job.
Want to get in the cockpit. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Men are selfish. Like I said, this Love is Blind season should have came with a trigger warning. Am I triggered? Yes. Just a little bit.
Yeah. No, facts. Alex was giving very spoiled brat in this conversation. He was giving, because I say it should happen. And at the same time, giving a child, like, something about him was very childlike. I'm not explaining it. I think it's the temper tantrum of it all. Like, when they're like, but this is not happening soon enough. And it's like, welcome to adulthood, baby. Got to talk with the boss. Got to make sure that we've got steady income before we gallivant all over the world. Because I'm sure this little pension thing or whatever the hell, we took a severance package. I'm sure the severance money has run out. Okay.
And that was during COVID. So it's definitely ran out. It's gone, honey. Ain't no severance package large enough. Okay.
Yeah.
And not to mention, it's for us. You talking about a soccer job? I can pick up a finance job.
I know.
In this economy, you just picking up jobs. Yeah. It's giving you finna be back on the Gulf, being a fisherman or whatever else you said you was doing out in the outback. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And I'm sitting here thinking, Ashley, you done said what she said, I come from a very cushy lifestyle and my daddy does it all. You shouldn't be looking for nothing less than that. At the very least, you need a man. You need what Chris talking about, Charles Schwab account. Okay, like a few accounts going on. Because
he says the day trader, but also it was giving very performative. Like he said, I'm watching Jerome Powell because like what? Like,
I was cracking up when she snickered and was like, "You got invited to the meeting?" Like, no, you just watching the YouTube video.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, buddy. Okay. Because what you need to be doing is reading the quarterly earnings and doing the shit that is really effective for the business, because like
you need to go get a job. You need to go get a job. That's what you need to do. And you're only trading you're only trading, what he said, the Australian dollar to the US dollar. So you ain't flipping and dipping through what they call the candlesticks and all of that. Like you doing one trade. Maybe you probably up, but maybe at a 5 a.m. whatever Australian time is, and you keeping it pushing through the day. And you can't tell me that you making that much, because where is your initial capital coming from?
Yeah.
Day traders don't make a lot of money unless they have some capital to put into the investment, from what I understand about day trading.
And so it's very hit or miss.
Like, yes, it's very hit or miss. It's gambling at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I know some day traders, okay? Like I know some. I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there, but I know some day traders. And one of the things that the ones who do it the best, they have to have discipline. And like you said, you gotta have that capital to be able to have the discipline. And if you don't, if you need the dollar, then you gonna be like, all right, let's move, because you need the dollar. Like, you gotta let some of this stuff, ride out or whatever, or I don't know, but
you also don't only know about that, and you that man asked you about Bitcoin and you knew nothing about
it. Yeah.
Even if it's not what you trade, if you're in that, you listen to Jerome Powell every morning and you're getting on when all the world is meeting together.
I know.
And talking about the dollar and what the industry is looking like, and where oil and all that is at. Why don't you know about Bitcoin?
Right, because Bitcoin is the leading digital currency. You know what I'm saying? Cryptocurrency going up there. But from my understanding, I ain't no day trader, but from my understanding, Bitcoin is the most safe investment in terms of digital currency. That's my understanding of it. And so it seems like, as a staple, you would know the basics. You get what I'm saying?
At the very least, just one, because he just said what's one form, or what's the equivalent, or something.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and the way, it's so funny. Like, Alex, in that moment of like the dinner with the parents, he reminded me of an ex of mine who was a liar. And I was like, this is so interesting. Like, this is how the face, they make the same, they do the same stutter. Like, it's like when you trying to think of them lies and you trying to piece together them words, and and you're thinking, it's like y'all make the same face. And even that comment when he said I didn't look to the left, I looked to the right. Like, he knows that there's like a scientific study that, like, when you lie or something like that, when you're fabricating a lie, your brain goes up into the right or the left. I don't know which one, because it's trying to create. That's like, and he said, you look to the left. Was that just me, or did I notice that, or did he say?
No, he did say that. He did say that.
So I was like, y'all liars,
but
y'all all the same.
I had saw this TikTok the other day that was talking about Fantasia and her husband and all this stuff that's going on with Farrakhan, blah, blah, blah. And one thing that she was saying was like, get y'all, I don't really want to get into it. But one thing that she was saying was, you don't have to touch the stove in order to understand and know it's hot. And one thing that Love is Blind offers you is the ability to look at behavioral patterns in these different types of men and understand that, like, when somebody is over explaining and they're doing all this and things just feel too good to be true and they don't have no worries in the world, something is off, right? If somebody automatically changes their behaviors, like Devonte, and all of a sudden now you don't want to touch me, you're not into me, something is off. Like, you don't have to go through that to understand that when this thing immediately happens, you need to take a step back and don't allow them to out explain you of what it is that you're feeling, your internal logic meter. Like, that intuition, they might say, oh, it's your emotions, your feelings, you're overthinking it. But it's like, no, that internal meter that you have as a woman is your logic center. center. It is. It's something that you don't have to explain. And so don't allow a man to manipulate you out of that, because
with
that's
his
when you
logic.
start with his logic that don't make no sense. Again, they want to get in the cockpit with no license, no degree, no certificates, no training, no nothing, no hours, they just
balls.
They just want it. They just want it. They just want it. So that's a lot of times that can't be something that is leading you, point blank, period. And you will lose yourself every single time trying to figure it out, asking all the questions. Okay, well, I can get that. I understand that. It's like no.
Speaking of questions, I think it's a great point, because like I said, all of this, they will give you a plausible answer that sounds good, but it's not actually the truth. But speaking of questions, this thing about her not knowing the exes, and she pounced on the mama when the mama came and she found, she's like, so who this? Is this Chicago? Is this Australia? Who is this? I think that's important. I was in a situation, I've had an ex that was evasive about exes, and I brushed it off, and I was like, oh, this might be, but whole time, I think he cheated on the ex with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need to know what happened, when it stopped, what's happening, and them dates crisscrossing. Like, her daddy taught her something when she was starting to ask him them questions at the end.
Okay.
He taught her something, but it's like it could, I guess, come a little earlier, because she was asking the mama, pounced on
well
her.
She said that it's like, I talked to my friends, and it's like, as I'm saying it out loud, these things don't make sense, which is why you need to have conversations with your friends sometimes. I'm not saying tell all your business, or why you got to be honest with your therapist, because when you say things out loud, it goes to another level of your brain. It connects a lot of times the emotional side and the logic side, the right and the left sides of your brain. It's like putting pen to paper. Like, it just clicks a little bit, and you say it out loud, and you're like, wait a minute, this actually don't make sense. And then when you got friends that hold you accountable, or a therapist that holds you accountable and ask you, and they say, hold up, girl, but you just said this is incongruent, there's inconsistencies here, right?
You so need people to be that mirror to
right
you.
I think that's what was happening, right? And I think the experience that Love is Blind offers in these pods is like, you don't really have these sounding boards, because everybody is going through their mix of emotions. Everybody in the pods gets their similar experiences, but you can't really sometimes talk things out, because it's clouded by their own individual experience that they're having with their own, with all that shit. So
and one of the things I will say that I noticed, even like this season, I was like, everybody, like in the Love is Blind pods, everybody was like, it gets very, you did nothing wrong, girl. You're good. Like, we can sometimes have the tendency, because we know these men, especially these Love is Blind guys, they are not, sometimes they're not SHIT. And so we have the tendency to support each other in a way that's sometimes overly on the fluff end and not on the real call you on your shit end. And so I do think there is a need to speak to the people that's going to tell you the truth. Be a little grounded, whether that be your therapist or whoever, because sometimes, like, I noticed that in the pods a little bit, like this, like, you did nothing,
and they're getting to know each other, so you don't know what,
so
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't know what people can handle.
Right. So it might come with a little extra fluff. So I think that's what Ashley was having in that moment, where it was like, okay, I'm out of this pod experience. I need to know what the truth is, because something about it is unsettling to me. And so she was able to ask mom, and then she asked him. Of course, he's still scurrying around. We come to find out you having sex with somebody else the day after you break up with one person. You was about to move to Australia with somebody else, and now you on Love is Blind. What? Homeless, no job, and you're running in and out of different homes with different women. No, it's a no.
One of the things that I was a little unclear about with their storyline, I was like, does Ashley actually want to move the way he keeps wanting to move? It's giving no. She said in the beginning, it was just him talking about it. Then she kept saying, well, we're deciding on Florida, we're deciding on Arizona, but it sounds like she's trying to pick the next location to settle, not necessarily. He was like, we'll be here for 3 months, we'll be there for 3 months, we'll be there. He's trying to bounce around still, it's giving. It doesn't seem like they're aligned on that. So I can see that when the rubber meets the road on that one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we already know this ain't gonna work out, baby.
No,
it's
true. It's not
especially if her daddy got anything to do with it. But what? A prenup.
Right. And not only that, they skipped over the fact that he went out that night after they put the mud on each other. Where the fuck you go? Like, I need the Love Is Blind cameras to follow him.
Experience. No, honestly, between him and Chris, where are y'all going?
Why the cameras?
Where are y'all going? And why do you feel the need to be anywhere else if it's not with your friends? And I mean, like, your closest friends. Yeah. This should be. It's like when you got a newborn. Right. Baby, you're in the house. We're still getting to know each other. We're trying to figure out lock and step. We got a lot of logistics to plan out. We got a wedding to plan out. It's like, it's too many conversations that need to be had. We need to be smacking on popcorn on this couch with some notebooks and some calendars and figuring some real life stuff out. Like, where are you going?
Where
are you going?
Where?
Especially at nighttime hours, babe. They're not married yet, but you are married at this point if you're walking into this experience.
And even for, like, if you're a couple that's living together, once you get to that space, it's a circle of trust here. Like, you need to be able to tell me all things. It's a circle of transparency. Let me say that. You need to be able to tell me all things. I need to know exactly where you're going. Yes. And you need to know where I'm going. Yes, like
location on, baby, because I'm that type of girlfriend. Put your location on, and your phone better not be locked. I'm not a go through the phoner, but I just feel like if you squeamish about me touching your phone, it's a problem. It's a problem.
I gotta develop my policy on the phone thing, but I definitely feel like transparency. That's the policy. It needs to be a through line. The phone need to have a transparency policy.
For real. But yeah, anything else on Alex and Ashley? Do we want to move on to Brittney and Devonte?
Nothing else. Let's get into Devonte and Brittney. He's another one. Like, trust your gut. What he's saying doesn't match.
Yeah, everything we just said about Alex apply here.
Yeah, because he was trying to put it on her, talking about when you complain, it makes me not want to do it. It's like, bitch, you ain't want to do it in the first place. Let's cut the shit. Okay?
I'm getting another trigger moment.
Let's call a thing a thing.
If I'm telling you this is how you can make me happy, just do it. What is the problem? Do it till it feels natural. Like, what? And if it don't feel natural, you don't want to get there, I'm not the one for you. If how I feel love is not how you want to express it, we're not a match. We're not a match. It's not going to always be like 100% you're doing it correctly. Yeah. It's not about perfection. But if I express that this would make me feel good, and you are saying that you intentionally want to share space and life with me, then move with intention, brother. Like, what is the problem?
And it's on top of that, it's like, you're not even, it's not just that you're not showing love the way she likes to receive it. It's also like, you're not showing love, like,
because you don't want to be here.
Yeah,
you don't want
where's
to be
the
here.
signs of the love? Like, it's like, is she just supposed to live on air and no affection? Like, what are we talking about? So in the first drop of episodes, we had already called it a wrap on them, and now they're just going through the motion. They went to this family visit. That's like, people be bullshitting with the families, both of them.
I would have thought he was a brother at that family visit.
You said what?
I would have thought he was down with the kinfolk at the family visit.
I know, right? He was like, ancestors, please come through.
Okay,
help me show up. Help me to see what to do, because he was but I was surprised that the dad was so welcoming and so like, I like you already. I'm like, what you like, sir? He just laughed at a couple of jokes. That's all. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
But look,
when that happened, I was just like, damn, the daddies don't be getting it. Like, historically, the daddies don't be getting it sometimes, and I be trying to figure out what is not clicking, like what's not translating here.
Yeah, because it was like Ashley with Tyler, but Ashley's dad was like an absent father that was coming back into her life.
Yeah, but we have historically had so many flops on Love Is Blind. Like, I'm talking about all the daddies. Yeah. These men, and historically I'm saying these men because there are women who have been problematic, yes, but these men, it's almost like I sometimes I be thinking like, you as a father, are you just like, men will be men, and so I just know, I don't, you know what I'm saying? What is it that you not clocking that this man don't like your daughter?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But I will say, I've always said that I feel like mothers are more like discerning. Yeah, with regard to a partner. And I don't know, with my mother, I would say she's more intuitive, but I always used to say, like, people scared of my dad, they need to be scared of my mom, because she will make or break this situation. Like, she really will. She will make sure her opinion is known. But the thing is that my dad is not going to give his blessings on anybody. That's the thing. It's like, he's not just like, oh, he seems great, I was surprised that he wasn't. He's not like that. He just is. I ain't got nothing on him. I ain't got nothing yet. When I get something, I'll let you know. Like, that's kind of where he is. So he's like, when I get something, I'll let you know. And then when he gets there, you know, he's there and he's like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about them. Yeah, because my daddy has only met one man, rest in peace his soul. And the one man he did meet, he had one sentence for me and no sentence. He asked him one question. The rest of the night it was silent.
You did.
And when he left, he had one sentence for me.
Yeah.
I said, well, what do you mean? And he repeated himself and did not address it again.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Because you're like, you know, my dad, like, he doesn't say it until because he's a lover. He's not a
right.
fighter.
But Brittany's mom didn't say anything either, and that was surprising to me. I wanted
Brittany's
to know
mom. Oh yeah.
She didn't. I was waiting to hear her opinion about all of it, but we didn't hear from her.
Yeah,
I was expecting
her. Sister.
Yeah, I was expecting her to say something.
But are the parents married? Like, is this her dad or her stepdad? I'm so confused by it, because I thought she said, did she say her dad? I don't remember.
I thought it was her dad.
That's her dad. That's her real dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were separated, but maybe that was just someone else's storyline.
Well, let us know in the comments if we got that wrong.
But I know you watched, her dad did a TikTok
video.
Or something.
Yeah, he was saying, it was a TikTok, and he was basically just expressing how proud he is of Brittany and how she's handled herself, and like he's pretty much told her all her life, everyone's gonna love you because you're beautiful, and there'll be people who hate you because you're beautiful. And so no matter what people think, like, you just have to know deep down inside, like, who you are, and not let the opinions of others, you know, sway you. And it was very sweet.
Yeah, if I was her dad or her mom, I'd be proud of her too. Like, the way she came on the show, she ain't getting run through. You know what I'm saying? Right. She ain't being no fool. She's, you know, asking the tough questions of Devonte, and she turned down Alex. Like, she gets all the props in my books for that.
Yeah, no, for real.
It is hard, and you can see it in my last video. I said it's hard to turn down a good-looking man, and it's frustrating, but she did it effortlessly. She didn't do no Bree, like the way Bree been up in Chris' face. If y'all missed our Love is Blind Part 1 recap, go watch that. We talked about them. But she classy, so I'd be proud of her as well. So anything else on the two of them?
No, child. I'm ready for them to go ahead and break this thing on up. Don't even go to the altar.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get into Emma and Mike. I loved Mike's family. Let me just say that. Loved them. I said, oh, the brother is Italian. I love that. And they were a traditional Italian family. I don't know. Like, Italians, they be clear to say, I'm Italian, baby. We got culture. We got traditions over here. We need the cousins. We need the family. We ain't playing that. And it's sauce. It's gravy for this. It's that. Straight up.
And I loved, like, the mom was talking. She's like, no offense. She was asking the questions. She was giving the energy. I liked the mom, even though she probably, like, I probably would be intimidated by her if she was like a mother-in-law. But I really did. I liked the mom.
I feel like I would have liked her as a mother-in-law. I love her.
Really? Yeah, I could see
a little spice.
Yeah, I could see.
You know, we can go back and forth. Granted, I wouldn't have been up there telling that Italian mother I don't want any kids now.
I mean, she got to be real, though.
Yeah, she got to be real. But I'm just saying, we probably wouldn't have made it that far. Because now I just feel like Mike, let's stop the game. Let's stop the foolishness here. No one in your family is going to be okay with you not bringing home some children.
Not even you.
Not even you. Not even you the slightest bit. Like we're forcing this at this point.
Yeah, it feels like Mike was being very defensive also during that meeting. He's probably very used to having to defend himself, but he seemed like he was being very, very defensive.
I felt like he was being defensive because he had to defend his situation, not necessarily her, but his decision to say, "Hey, will you marry me?" Knowing me, she didn't want to have kids. So I feel like everybody was kind of looking at him like, "Now, why would you go and do this?" And she is a maybe on children, and more so a no. You know?
Yeah. I think he's going to walk away if she doesn't say yes. But I think that, I don't think you can expect that she's going to be a yes in 2 weeks. I just think that's very unrealistic. I mean, I think she's trying, because even with her family, she was very defensive as well, I feel like. Being like, her sister especially.
That projecting child.
So it's like, I know that you have just always been someone, we thought that was just out of the question. And the fact that her family was just like, they felt like she was a hard no. I think that's what her sister said. On kids. And now she's kind of, it leads me to believe, I don't think it's your vibe, girl. And maybe one day you would have a kid, but I don't think it's your vibe. Like, she may be one of those people, like 10 years from now, I thought I would never have a kid. And then it's like, I do. But it's not giving that you want one now, and it's not giving that you're going to want one in the time period that Mike will want one. So y'all just need to call a thing a thing.
Yeah, because he like 6 months, cracked, eggs, open, wide, scrambled, okay? Like, he's not playing.
It's so funny. I saw someone do like a graph of how much airtime every woman in the pods got. Emma had the most by far. It was like triple or quadruple the amount of time than any other woman. And now it feels like they are boring to watch for me. Like they're boring, like
and they're incompatible.
Couple. Yeah. It's like I'm kind of just, it's like, I'm just watching them. But it's like all that build up for it to just be here. But circling back to the sister. Not her saying she wouldn't have the kids.
Yeah, I know.
For women when they don't feel like they would have had kids. I mean, I will say this. I've been one of those people who always wanted to be a mom, right? But then like some point, maybe around like 29, I was like, I could wait though. and the I could wait though feeling has never quite left me, but I want to make sure I have kids, especially as I'm like getting in that space. So for me, when I hear these women say like, "Oh my God, if I could go back, I wouldn't." I don't know what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I want everyone to enjoy the experience of motherhood. It seems like it's such an amazing, miraculous, spiritual, sacred thing, and that's how I've always viewed it. But I also know that distinctly the feeling I felt at around like 29 years old when I was like, I'm having fun. I could wait. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm like, is that where they're at? Where they're like, I could wait or never. Is that what that feels like? I don't know.
Yeah. I do think that if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't. Like, I think that I wouldn't part is a little harsh. Like, if I was a child hearing that, I would be like, ooh. Now, if it was like I would have waited, like that, I feel like makes more sense, right? Like where you have a little bit more wisdom, who you're partnered with, you understand the impacts of that going into parenthood, all those other things that you don't consider a lot of the times when you're younger, right? Or just like having sex willy-nilly without having these types of conversations. So yeah, when she said that, it just felt like a lot of projection, and I was just like, ouch, because you're trying to say you wouldn't regret it, but you are saying you regret it because you're saying you wouldn't do it again. So
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I didn't write down specifically what it was, but the one thing I will say is that something about Emma is coming off when she was with her family as not being truthful in all the things she says. And I'm not gonna call a girl a liar, nothing. But it was something she said during that interaction where
that she felt like she wasn't accepted or she was othered or something like that?
It wasn't even that, because that's, those are feelings. That's just, your emotional response in my view. And so I wouldn't call somebody like not being truthful because of their recollection of an experience, like emotionally. But it was something I think about Mike that I was like, what? Like, she's not really telling her truth. I don't know. Or maybe it was even part of the kids, like when she'd be one way at school and another way at home. I don't know. But it's something about her in this episode. And I wish I had noted. All I noted was that I'm wondering if she has a problem with telling the whole truth. And I don't know what I wrote it about, but the feeling is still there. Because even through the pod episode, she was saying things. You noted how she would tell Mike, one thing, but it's like Connor was really your number one, but Mike doesn't really know that just yet.
Yeah. I mean, possibly. I know I kind of had a little bit of a when she mentioned something and her parents were like, really? I never, noticed that. Like, you had this period where you were a little more quiet and shy, but it didn't happen at school, which of course parents generally don't always know what their kids are feeling.
For sure.
But I was wondering if some of these feelings that she's having around being adopted and this birthmark and things like that, if they're new feelings. Because sometimes you get older, you start to process things a little differently as you develop and go through your own maturity process. So I was like, is everything that's coming up right now, is it new? And if that is the case, I'm like, girl, you might not need to even be going through a process like this. You might need to figure all of these moving elements of your identity, figure them out, because they can impact how you date, especially in a marriage, like how you date, how you marry, like there's which is probably why you're like, oh, okay, I can think about it with the child. And it's like, no, what are you saying that you want for yourself? Like, start to identify what you want your life to look like despite your past, so that you can date in the most optimal and healthy way for you, and not, give yourself more trauma, because that's all this is going to end up being. If, like Mike is saying, you get down the line now 6 months, you're saying, I don't want a child, or you have a child, and now you're talking like your sister. I regret I had a child. Like, you don't want that.
I think Mike's going to say no on this one, or she's going to say no because I can't get to a yes on kids. And so she's going to say it's not fair for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely not making it. I'm like, who's making it? Oh, I guess Victor and Christine.
Yeah. Before we get to them though, before we get to them, I did want to also say something about Emma just gives me a little childish. Like, yes, there's people who are disorganized and stuff, but I think the way Mike seems to perceive it is like, I have a child on my hands. Pick your clothes up, organize this, put this away, let's not be scattered. Even some of the things that she says, like sleepy boy, I think she had said in one episode, or the baby voice. So yeah, I don't know, something about her though is like, but I have to remind myself she is younger. So.
But she ain't that young. 28 is like, you grown. I'm a grown woman. What's that? It's that Beyonce song? I don't know. But she's grown. But I when they were having that conversation at the beginning of the episode, and she was like, well, you keep the doors open. I was like, girl, you're reaching. You're reaching.
Very much so reaching.
the doors to the closet. Is that what we're talking about here? I could see maybe if it was like cabinet doors. I have a problem with that sometimes. And like, I've lived with people and they're like, close these doors, these cabinet doors. But the closet door, like, stop it. I think she just was like, you think I'm messy and I think you leave doors open. So, tomato, so maybe that goes into the childish thing that you were speaking about. But anyway, Vic and Christine, they're the only couple that's going to make it. And we saw the least. And even this episode, I'm like, first of all, y'all didn't show them. Why would you wait and bury them in the middle of the episode? Put them MFs at the top. The thing need to open up with them. They had doubled back on like Devonte or somebody else before we even saw one of Vic and Christine's clips.
Yeah, like, when they came up, I forgot that they were in the lineup. I was like, oh yes, Vic and Christine.
And I'm like,
and they don't have camera crew. They have confessionals. And I think they might have had a camera crew. Did they?
Like, when they were at the park? Yeah.
Yeah, but when they were driving to her hometown, no.
Yeah, it is given that they were an afterthought at a very minimum level. And they probably only included them because they were the only ones to get married, probably. That's what it's giving. That it's like they followed a couple just in case. Here's your own camera. And maybe they do this in other seasons, but the couple maybe
Well,
doesn't
they say if you don't connect, right? Like Vic and Christine don't connect to anybody else in the pods. Like they try to do these little triangle things to tell the story. Because remember when we did that one couple from Love Is Blind UK, that's what she was like, we didn't make it because our story doesn't connect to any of the other stories that they chose.
I think she was more so saying there were too many people involved to tell their one singular story, because they both had said yes to other people, and then, or something like that, so I don't know, but I do know that at a minimum, put them at the top of the episode. Bruh.
Yeah.
Put them at the top of the episode. Like, why were they buried in the back, in the middle, in the end? Because they had enough content. They went to go visit her mom. I want to see his family though. What at it? What at it? What at it?
Yeah, no, for real, I did too.
What at it? And what was her mom's issue? Because I was like, her mom seemed nice to me. Like, she struggles with addiction or something.
I don't know. I just know that Christine said in the pods that she wishes that her mom would go get some help because she's been traumatizing to not only her children but also her grandchildren.
Yeah, but she said about her growing up experience with her. Like there's something toxic about her.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, toxic.
I don't remember. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was going in with my eyes on alert because I'm like, do something to that black man. Do it.
I ain't got time. She seemed very accepting of him. It didn't seem like it was anything. I want to see, like I said, Victor's family. Let me see that. Also, why didn't I follow them? Like I said, why this is annoying because they are probably going to be the ones to say yes.
And we don't see their story. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I did want to circle back to the mom though, because you thought she was so nice. Granted, it was not like, I'm not saying that she was mean, but I was a little like, when she was like, "Ooh, Christine, I get to hug your man," and she was talking about how he was high. I was like, yeah, no, I can see just a little bit of like problematic, peeking through with that. And I was also thinking too, like, she said she was from a very rural place and, she wouldn't want her kids to grow up there because it's a very singular experience. And so I just wonder. I wonder deep down, possibly, what are some of the beliefs if the cameras weren't there.
Do you think she's faking? You think she's faking?
Yes. If the cameras weren't there, if he wasn't as polished and good looking, educated. All of these things.
This Christine talking something. I'm like, what is someone like you doing? I mean, Christine too, but like, what is someone like you doing? Like what on the show? Like what? Is she calling Love Is Blind toxic? Like, is that what she's doing? But either way, they didn't have a lot. They went to his school, but was that was
on the cell phone?
Yeah.
And going to her hometown was also on the cell phone.
Yeah.
They're not following them. I don't know. It's hard to have anything concrete to really say. Now, I did appreciate their conversation they had about having biracial children. I thought that was a good conversation. I think if that conversation comes up more, I need to hear more from her as the white mother in the mix. Hopefully by then she's done maybe some research, some educating, some listening to some things. Because you will not 100% understand their lived experience. But I would you have a role to play.
Yes.
And so
in shaping how they feel about themselves and how they respond to the world. Because a child just flipping back to Devonte, a child like him to grow up and just not even like, you don't find your own kind attractive, like, or whatever. I don't know what he is. But either way, of color, he said there was no of colors been in his dating pool. So whatever color he is, because he's something Hispanic.
He is black and something. Okay.
Yeah, because Devonte didn't come out of nowhere. Like that's child. But it's important that you raise a child who loves what they come from, no matter if you're not of the same race as that child. So yeah, I would agree. Glad that they're having those conversations.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, they're the only couple I have some faith in. And I said to the last episode, Vic, he does have a very gentle spirit.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that about him. He seems like a very intentional and caring
thoughtful
man.
guy,
thoughtful, yeah. Which did make me wonder, like, why are you still single, bro? Like, it's lots of great women out here.
How old is he?
30 something, I think 33.
Yeah.
But I also too sometimes feel like a lot of times, like, we might go through these long-term relationships for a while, and it's not until like mid-30s, later 30s where we're like, okay, this is what I want, and now I'm like fully ready. Like, it was oftentimes that last relationship where it was like I learned a lot, and now I can go ahead and get back out there. So maybe that's part of his story. Who knows? But yeah, anything else on these couples?
The only thing I was gonna say on Vic also is that he explained the Doberman thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because in his bio, when we did the Meet the Men, Love is Blind season 10 cast reveal or whatever, go back and watch that video if you haven't. But when we did it, we read in his bio, he's like, I'm not a German Shepherd. I'm a Doberman. And I was like, what is that? Like, what are we talking about? And so he kind of explained it. I liked what he said a little bit, like the golden retriever is like panting. And I guess there's some level of like, anything you want, anything you need.
Frantic. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was like, Doberman's still, being there. Supportive
loyal,
energy.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I could see that. I could see that with him.
Yeah,
I can see that with him.
Yeah. So, I commented. I was like, I like what you did there, sir. That was good. That was good. But yeah, Vic seems like a green flag for sure. Yeah. And so does Christine. Yeah. I did also know when they got engaged, I was like, oh, her last name is Hamilton. Like Cameron. So I was like, maybe that's a good sign.
Oh,
from Love is Blind season 1, Lauren and Cameron. I was like, maybe that's a good sign. But yeah, that is all on this drop of episodes for Love is Blind season 10. Again, this was episodes 7 through 9. Make sure you check out our part 1. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, follow us, comment, let us know your thoughts, hype us up, all the good things, and we will catch you for the next drop of episodes. Bye.
All right, bye.